Kerwin Williams back to receive the opening kick. And he's coming out of the end zone. Up across the 21-yard line. Adrian Peterson in the backfield. Stanton to throw. Talk about taking shots downfield. Catch made at the 40. John Brown with a big gainer to open this game. Adrian Peterson spins through a hole, gets down to the 21-yard line. The former Viking, of course. Ball vertical. After a 7-yard pickup, Peterson gets to about the 20. It'll bring up third and short against a 49er defense still without Solomon Thomas. Third down and 2 for Larry Fitzgerald and slightly overthrown. And upright, no good.
In this game, and you got an opportunity for points and you get nothing.
Carlos Hyde just short of the 35-yard line. Good field position to start for this 49er offense. Remember, Dawes, a receiver, bottom of your screen. Burrito the backup to Hyde. And that pass caught by George Kittle for a first down. He's near midfield. He also active, the rookie from Louisville at that position. Beathard's pass is caught by the fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, who is fighting hard. And the ball comes out. It's a takeaway for Patrick Peterson. And Peterson is loose. Can he get caught inside the 10? A touchdown-saving tackle by Marquise Goodwin.
Sometimes you just got to know when the play's over. Patrick Peterson, very savvy guy. Look at everybody attacking that football. Now it's out. It's on the ground. Scoop and try and score by Patrick Peterson. But there comes a time when that play is dead. Tyrann Mathieu, a great job. One of the guys that was challenged this week to raise his level of play, to play better.
Peterson with nowhere to go. Stopped outside the 5-yard line. Outside the 5-yard line on second and goal. Peterson with a big hole, but it closes in a hurry, and a couple of 49ers got there, including Reuben Foster. And Drew Stanton is on the run. Throws it into the end zone. Touchdown! Jaron Brown was standing back there. It looked like Stanton just wanted to get rid of it.
It's an opportunity to maybe just climb a little bit and escape out to his right, but he comes all the way back. This rarely happens. You're drifting backwards, looking at him get that in between the defenders to Jaron Brown.
His first touchdown pass of the season. Not something happened on that play. Extra point is good, and it's 7-0.
Make the trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. 4 different starting quarterbacks the last 4 times these two teams have met. So you've got to get that short up. You've got to get consistency at the quarterback spot.
Victor Bolden on the short kick and a short return. Some tough hitting across the 2. Hyde, who is the team's leading rusher and now the leading receiver
on Sunday with your roster.
Beathard flutters that in the area of Goodwin.
Philadelphia game last week.
On 3rd and 9, off the fingertips and almost intercepted. Trent Taylor, the rookie from Louisiana Tech. Patrick Peterson back to receive the punt, pointing everybody away, and he grabs it on the bounce across the 36-37 yard line. Stanton's throw to Fitzgerald, and he spins forward maybe a yard. Leon Hall. Adrian Peterson, he'll lose yardage there. Nowhere to go. Brock Coyle making the tackle. Let's get a game. Stanton from the pocket and dropped. Delivered on time at midfield to John Brown, but he couldn't hold it. Covered. Former 49er Andy Lee drives this into the air, and fair catch. Trent Taylor at the 22-yard line. Hand off Carlos Hyde. Close to a first down. He may have gotten it. Yes, last year. His grandfather Bobby, of course, won a couple of Super Bowls in the front office with Washington. And that pass completed by C.J. Beathard to Carlos Hyde with another first down. In Arizona territory, the pitch to Matt Breida. And tackled maybe after a 1-yard gain. Back. The blitz coming. Beathard has to get rid of it. One game in the division. And the veteran making the play there. Beathard is going to go down. Tried to get away. Olsen Pierre got to him, and Hassan Reddick.
33, Kerwin Williams is deep for the Cardinals.
Fair catch called for. Has to be the worst starting field position for the Arizona offense, protecting a 7-0. He gets it again, fights hard to get to the 15-yard line. After a pickup of 3, nowhere to go. Here he has, and only his 3rd game with the Cardinals, their longest run of the season. But on 3rd and 5 with Ellington in the backfield, Stanton, time in the pocket, and has to dump it off to Ellington. It looks like he's short of the 1st down over there.
He's going to drop him and be able to keep the receiver short of the 1st down.
Trent Taylor looking into the sun from the 20. And tackled right away. Excellent special teams play by the rookie Buda Baker. Looks. 2 teams in the bottom half going at it. Carlos Hyde hit hard. Knocked back at the 24-yard line. Corey Peters making the play. Eagles, who rolled again. Best record in the league in the NFC East. Beathard. A lot of time. Middle of the field for Goodwin. Oh, just missed him. Beathard is sacked again. Corey Peters. He had Kerwin Williams back to receive the punt. Drops in front of him and sticks right around the 45, rolls to the 44-yard line. And again, good field position. They've had that most of this first half. The pressure is on Stanton, and he has to get rid of it. From the Seahawks, and of course that's the kind of defense the 49ers would like to run. They need the personnel. Incomplete for Larry Fitzgerald and a crowd. Oversees that game against the Rams. Stanton on 3rd down, a low throw that bounces incomplete.
Reeds continues to get everybody out on the routes.
Andy Lee, the 35-year-old, booming that. Trent Taylor tackled right away. We're seeing, at least in the punt pick, a quarterback who beat the Cardinals in his first NFL start. He is dressed and watching today. Beathard airing it out for Goodwin, and this time he's got it.
20.
Carlos Hyde inside the 24. Flag came in late back at the 15-yard line.
Holding. Offense, number 63. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 1st down.
34-yard line is the spot. Need to get inside the 18 for a 1st down. Under pressure, and he misfired on getting to Hyde, who had some room over there. If he could. Matt Breida running back as a receiver. And Beathard has to get rid of it, avoiding the sack. And the ball rather well in his college years at Iowa. Open middle of the field. That's Trent Taylor short of the 1st down, but inside the 25-yard line. And Robbie Gould nails it.
Kind of the same thing for both of these teams. We talked about the offensive line challenges, the wide receiver challenges for San Francisco. For their defense needs to be able to play at a higher level. The quarterback in that game planning process.
And Stanton selected the plays he liked. Has to like that one. Adrian Peterson taking people with him all the way out to the 43-yard line. I'll tell you, Peterson there, it looked like an 18-yard run. Best run of the day for either team. Peterson taking people with him for a yard or two, or trying to. 35 yards. And over 12,000 career yards as Troy Nicholas makes the catch and gets inside the 40. Peterson slips through, and Adrian Peterson fighting to the 22-yard line with a 1st down for the Cardinals. stay with it. Nowhere to go this time. 49ers knock him back. Of Drew Stanton. And there is Larry Fitzgerald. And that looks like it's good enough for a first down inside the 11-yard line. Good call still. But he is a world traveler who'd love to travel to the end zone to cap this drive. Catch made, touchdown in the end zone. Jermaine Gresham for the Cardinals.
Great matchups because he's a big physical guy, but he just doesn't finish the catch. That's highly contested by Akel Witherspoon, and it's a nice job by Jermaine Gresham finishing that play. Well,
and you touched on it. The minute Jaquaski Tart went out of that secondary, already down K'Wan Williams in Arizona with Adrian Peterson. They picked on a secondary, and it produced the second touchdown of the game. Phil Dawson with the kick. Bolden on the run from the 4.5-yard line. And Bolden all the way up near the 29-yard line with Carlos Hyde in the backfield. Hyde gets a couple. So how does a C.J. Beathard feel when he's handed the reins and Hoyer's run him? And you can explain more of that in a moment as Beathard with the blitz coming delivers, but it's not caught by Aldrick Robinson. 3rd and 6. Here comes the blitz. And Beathard delivers a good pass again right at the 40. Goodwin couldn't hold it. Patrick Peterson on the coverage against him, allowing just one touchdown. Peterson had that fumble return earlier in this game that set up the first score. And on the return, Kerwin Williams again, special teams play outstanding.
Drew Stanton knows it as well as he does.
Adrian Peterson.
Oh, he has run hard today.
Across the 21-yard line. Really no problem, no hard feelings. The Saints are doing well in their direction, and he's happy to be here. Peterson short of the first down. Back-to-back running plays. It'll bring up 3rd and a couple of yards. Slash receiver. Stanton incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was right there. Deep, awaiting the punt of Andy Lee. From the 32, up across the 36-37 yard line. Carlos Hyde, big opening, slips a tackle, and run out of bounds.
Yes, he was happy with what CJ had been doing up until that point.
Beathard hesitates here and has to get rid of it. It's incomplete. At the bottom of your screen. Beathard's got to get rid of it in a hurry, and he does, but incomplete. Back, given the injuries on the offensive line and the skill position, players that are hurt or fresh or young. Kerwin Williams, and slips up across to the 24-yard line. Peterson nearly 60 yards rushing in the game so far. Stanton incomplete for Adrian Peterson. Well, this is the oldest team in the NFL currently, the Arizona Cardinals, and Adrian Peterson with a first down across the 36-yard line. That way, still full throttle was the way he expressed himself. Stanton going deep for Brown, and some hand fighting going on back there. No flags. Peterson stops short at the 39-yard line. Ray Ellington to the top. Drew Stanton, delay blitz. Flutters one for J.J. Nelson, who's got a first down. Six now. San Francisco, give it to Peterson. He'll get inside the 45, taking people with him. Got a couple extra yards, but it looked like he was stopped in the shadows of Levi Stadium. Could afford to be patient. 2nd down, 6. Peterson. Here comes a flag.
Holding. Defense, number 96. It's a 5-yard penalty. Added to the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
Stanton. Larry Fitzgerald inside the 15-yard line for Fitzgerald. After a gain of 23, Peterson knocked down right away. Witherspoon up from his corner spot. Stanton, end zone, and intercepted. There's a battle for it with Gresham, but Eric Reed has the takeaway.
One of the things that comes with that is your decision making. You don't make the poor decision. It's a good job by Reuben Foster. He kind of drops into that throwing lane, forces that throw out a little bit wider, and you're able to get the interception.
You know, you're just talking about the running game being committed, and it just down there, things were clicking. Just kind of an interesting call decision slash by. This time, the throw a little bit off. C.J. Beathard on the move, and that's incomplete. A tough throw, trying to get to Aldrick Robinson. 49ers did lose a fumble. He's going to try and throw it here to Carlos Hyde. Slow developing play out of bounds. Bring up third down and a game break with Carissa. To the 30 for a first down. Beathard open is Kittle, and he fights to get the first down and got it. Beathard delivers right when Kittle turned and caught the ball, staying in bounds. Only 2 timeouts for each team.
He bothered him a little bit.
Open, Carlos Hyde. Should be right at the first down marker. Tremont Williams centers. Hustle for the snap. Beathard throws, sliding at midfield. Aldrick Robinson, experience on the road. On second down, open and incomplete. Low throw for Marquise Goodwin. That's Goodwin, the speedy Marquise Goodwin in motion. And Beathard, catch made. Trent Taylor gets the first down to the 37 of Arizona.
Battle on the last snap.
They blew the whistle as the ball was caught by Goodwin.
Timer. Please reset the game clock to 45 seconds. Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 19, never got sacked.
49ers, you see where they need to get for field goal range here. Phil Dawson missed one earlier for Arizona. Robbie Gould has made about a 55 or 56-yard field goal. Beathard trying to get more yardage here. Floats one into the sunshine. Hits the back of Adrian Peterson.
20.
Blitz coming. Beathard throws and drops. George Kittle looked like that ball might have been deflected or tipped at the line of scrimmage, so that from 52 this year, that would have been a 56-yarder. So a missed opportunity by the 49ers. Now, that was not played very well, but this is nice special teams play inside the 6-yard line. Raheem Mostert,
Dan, I mean, you're taking all these different pieces of information, trying to come up with your decision.
Yeah, I would have just tried Robbie Gould.
You know, Arizona is about to kind of take control of this game at 21-3. And a big interception.
That fumble recovery, by the way, that's new. And injuries adding to that pressure. Tyrann Mathieu on the safety blitz. Beathard just got rid of it. Beathard, at the last moment, had to get rid of it in the neighborhood of Aldrick Robinson. Hitting
against Philly. 25 in the first half today and 2 more to start the second half. He's at 27 already. Now 28.
An open receiver for a first down. It's Kendrick Bourne and his first catch of this game.
His play, you know, with his opportunities. He's a tough little kid playing quarterback.
Carlos Hyde picks up 5 after that previous pass play.
Opportunity to make excuses, just went out and battled.
Carlos Hyde gets close, but he'll be a little bit short as he gets around the 41 of Arizona. Garoppolo is thinking about watching Beathard run for his life out there. Juszczyk, the fullback, and he's shoved back. Let's see. He got Juszczyk, one of those guys he talked about as one of his core players. Batted in the air. And that ball is fumbled. Juszczyk got to it. Kareem Martin caused it.
San Francisco is challenging rolling on the field.
49ers are going to challenge this, that it was a fumble. They're going to say they think it's an incomplete pass. Ruled a fumble on the field. The arm going forward. Closer look at this.
After review, the quarterback had control of the ball. It is a forward pass. It is incomplete. Therefore, it's 2nd and 10.
It splits out as a receiver, top of your screen. Beathard gets rid of it. Catch made to Carlos Hyde, who's got a first down around the 20 of Arizona. Back and has played well. Gets the carry here, but the Cardinals, tough hit. Keep him from gaining any yardage. Robert Killis. After no gain, Beathard open. Marquise Goodwin. Inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal for the 49ers. Hesitates on the handoff. Beathard is going to keep for the corner of the end zone. C.J. Beathard.
He didn't give it to him.
Just got to the pylon.
Well, they're talking. Maybe they'll give it to him.
They're discussing. See if
there you go.
Touchdown 49ers. Came a little late, but a rushing touchdown.
Play a couple of times, and the bootleg has not been open. Arizona's done a nice job. Is he out of bounds right there? He hasn't broken. So, unfortunately, I don't think this one's going to count, Chris.
Unfortunately for C.J. Beathard, while they discussed it.
The previous play is under review.
And rightly so. The hustle of Beathard.
After review, the runner stepped out of bounds when the ball was at the 1.5-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 1.5. Timer, please reset the game clock to 10:25.
Carlos Hyde. And no. Maybe a yard. C.J. Beathard with a 49er touchdown.
On the fake. So let's take a look at this triangle right here and see what happened. See, everybody gets washed down. Good job by Trent Brown. Kind of collapsing everything down, making that easy for C.J. Beathard.
That's his 2nd career rushing touchdown. In this, his 3rd start. And it's a 4-point game. What a drive, an impressive drive. But all of a sudden, a 4-point game. The kickoff in and past the end zone where Kerwin Williams watches it sail through. Let's check in again with Laura. I'm trusting you guys. Adrian Peterson into a crowd. Let's check in for a game break.
That was not played very well at all by the Dallas secondary.
Blitz coming, pass for Fitzgerald. Stan had to get rid of it. He knocked down on the turf by Eric Reed, who had the interception earlier. Blitz coming, wide open. Fitzgerald twisting and turning, and there's a flag late on the play as he's got enough for the 1st down, staying inbounds. Peterson is going to lose some yards, but he fights to get back across the 40.
Be there week in, week out, every game, and be able to stay healthy and on the field.
After a loss, Peterson with a gain just short of the 45. Yeah, Reuben Foster, there's a reason. Drew Stanton, time in the pocket. Receiver fell down, the ball hit him in the back. It was Jermaine Gresham.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact. Defense, number 35. It's a 5-yard penalty, an automatic 1st down.
We want to make sure we see the complete play. Adrian Peterson to the 45. Here comes a flag. Peterson to the 40. And a hold.
Holding. Offense, number 87. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
I didn't mean to jinx him, Daryl. I think that's her first penalty after I just said him as a receiver in the slot. And that pass was in the area of Adrian Peterson, but Leon Hall had a better shot at it. Blitz. And he just got rid of it and still got smothered at the 30.
Andy Lee is on the bunt. Victor Bolden Jr.
Victor Bolden is back. A high kick, fair catch called for, and he leans forward to grab it at the 15-yard line. Carlos Hyde with the carry, and when you're 0-8, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch.
Points or less, but our first win, that 0-8 start, was week 9 against a division opponent. So I've kind of had a good feel.
After a rash of injuries where you're already lacking a lot of depth. That was deflected at the line of scrimmage. Now the players said, no.
Get rid of that. Let's get on to our next opponent.
And the idea is this punt for Kerwin Williams. Fair catch called for. That's the Garoppolo trade. It was not to try to save this season. It's to try. And Drew Stanton to throw on first down. Going deep for Nelson. J.J. Nelson had it knocked away at the last moment by Adrian Colbert. 91 yards rushing today on 21 carries. And he'll catch a pass this time at the 34. It's going to game break. Reuben Foster back in, by the way, make a celebration. Meanwhile, third down, 4, and open for a first down. And still going is Larry Fitzgerald. Breaks the tackle. Gets into the 49er territory inside the 45-yard line. The yards today with 5 catches. These couple of over 30 guys, we talked about them in the open, future Hall of Famers with Peterson and Fitzgerald showing some of that at age 34. Peterson, Adrian Peterson, interesting when we sat down and talked with him. Time for Stanton and open, Jermaine Gresham. Peterson inside the 20. He's over 100 yards rushing today for Adrian Peterson. And he gets a first down to the 15 to within 4. Adrian Peterson inside the 10-yard line. 27 touches today for Adrian Peterson. Make that 28. They still got something out of that. Stanton on the move, has nowhere to go with it. And gets rid of it as he was chased out of bounds. And this time he's good, and it's a 7-point lead. Waiting his turn. Dawson kicks off. It's a high, short kick. Bounces and quickly down right away.
Where isn't going to be able to sign him in the offseason. It's a 2-quarterback situation that had run its course, and he's getting some good value back for Jimmy Garoppolo.
And off Marquise Goodwin's shoulder pads. That was an excellent throw. Passes, and of course no Pierre Garçon today. Most of the NFL, this 49er team. That one's held on to. Barely. He was down according to the official. Caught it, went to the ground.
Arizona is challenged ruling on the field of a catch.
Which would make him down right away before that ball popped up. And he's juggling it, and it's knocked out. That looks that looks like an incomplete pass when you see that angle.
Absolutely. So he's got possession, 2 feet, football move, but he goes to the ground and doesn't complete it.
After review, the receiver did not maintain possession. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It'll be third down and 10. Timer reset the game clock to 13:22.
And very accurate. And Beathard is thrown to the ground.
Defense like Arizona.
Punting from his own goal line. So bounce at midfield. And Kerwin Williams falls forward to the 47-48 yard line where Arizona will take over and play the passionate, tough defense they have so far today. And so has this guy, who always plays with passion. Not much there, but goes out with the injury in the opener. They didn't have Peterson at that time. Screen to Adrian. And around midfield, tripped up by Reuben Foster. Catches, he's at the top of your screen. Here comes the blitz. Stanton's throw, right on target. Andre Ellington, as soon as he turned, the ball was there.
Can he keep the record perfect?
San Francisco is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed catch.
Process actually end where if the ball does come loose, it doesn't have an impact on the play. So He's got possession, he's rolling over, and it comes out there. So that's one of the ones that you're seeing now.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. It's a completed catch. San Francisco will be charged with the first team timeout.
It's Peterson.
In your offensive line.
And Peterson will run behind that line once again. Makes any line look pretty good. Gets to the 30. Drew Stanton keeps for the first down. A sabbatical on that one. They got him a big first down. So go back to Peterson, who runs into a wall. You know, Peterson's 35 carries. Stanton in trouble and almost intercepted. The pressure by DeForest Buckner almost.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 36. It's a 5-yard penalty, an automatic first down.
Adrian Peterson, a big hole closed in a hurry, but he got inside the 15-yard line. And a game break now with Kurt Benefield. Kerwin Williams has come in, and he gets a carry. He was the guy who was on the spot as the starter when. And Peterson's not going to get it. Reuben Foster got there first, but that's marking it. And Phil Dawson kicks it through. The drive stalls. 56, 55-yarder before the half. Well, they might just be down one score as Bolden is bringing this one out. Victor Bolden up to the 25 and a flag down, and a second flag at the 27 and the 15-yard line.
During the return, holding, return team, number 84. The penalty's half the distance to the goal. First down.
The leading receiver for this team now with Garcon on the injured list. And there is Carlos Hyde. There a first down, goes out of bounds. They've got the Giants next week, then a bye week. Beathard completes. Garrett Selleck.
I don't think until he demonstrates. I can't promise you that he won't play today, and I can't promise you that he will play at some point later in the season. So the window is wide open, and I think it's really based him to evaluate during the regular season games to evaluate. He's going to see a ton at practice. He'll know exactly when the time is right if it's this season to give Jimmy Garoppolo an opportunity to play.
2 timeouts remaining and down 10. Beathard underneath to Hyde. Crosses midfield. Laura?
Such a big component in being a quarterback. It's been hard. Chris, I'll get back in a second.
Pass is incomplete. Go ahead, Laura.
And listen, that's not for you yet.
3rd down and 3. Beathard's pass is incomplete. Well, I got the... And incomplete in the hands of Carlos Hyde, but he couldn't hang on to it. And the Cardinals leaning on some veterans today. Dansby, one of those, should have been caught. Hyde does have 9 catches today. Here's another one of those veterans. I did want to mention the ball comes out, and the 49ers have it. At least that's the indication. They were digging in there after the football. San Francisco with a takeaway. The knee, it was close. Ball's clearly out, but was the knee down before the ball came out. There comes a flag.
Flag on the field.
Ball start, offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That makes it more difficult for Beathard, who's going to run and slide. And here come flags flying in the air. And they're shoving and pushing because Buffet went to Beathard after he slid. And Hyde got knocked down. There's another flag.
41. There are 4 fouls on the play. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 41. That penalty will be enforced. After the play, Arizona, number 43, personal foul. He's been disqualified for fighting. San Francisco, personal foul. Number 28 has been disqualified for fighting. And Arizona, 92, has been disqualified for fighting. Those fouls offset. Only the first foul is enforced. First down.
I have to go and down 10. Beathard, incomplete.
The offsetting fouls would not have been right.
And 3 players ejected from the game as Beathard is on the move. Here comes a flag at the 35. Kendrick.
Holding. Offense. Number 22. 10-yard penalty. Replay. Second down.
1-yard line. Matt Breida on second down. Out of bounds around the 35. Lost 5 straight to this Cardinals team. And Beathard has a receiver open board, and I think that push got him the first down. Once he turned and got Breida about is his pass protection. Quick pass, Breida can catch it too. Oh, if he could have maintained his balance, he could have strolled into the end zone. First and goal. Beathard tipped in the air and intercepted. Dansby with the pick.
Fumble, he's fighting for extra yards. The play's over. You end up with a turnover. Maybe right here again too. Don't know where the ball is going to go to anyway. C.J. Beathard trying to make something happen.
On the doorstep of 0-9. And that is Adrian Peterson's 35th carry.
Holding. Offense, number 75. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
So that
Sometimes he does things that just seem superhuman.
So he'll set a career high.
There he goes.
That's his 36th carry, and he's running like it's the opener. Now I'm thinking, do you arrest him a little bit?
Right on that hit, exactly. And
Kerwin Williams will stay in bounds.
they ran the ball more than they threw it, and it paid huge dividends for them.
Well, they're throwing now. And incomplete for Troy Nicholas. Still hope for the 49ers. This will bounce, and Bolden will grab it and go out of bounds. But no timeouts and just over a minute 45 to play. But he keeps battling, and that's dropped. Matt Breida, who came in for the... Deep for Bourne, who can't run under it. The most ever. That was back in 2013 against Seattle. Beathard tripped up from behind, or he might have had room to run. Chandler Jones, who on fourth down, Beathard underneath. Robinson to the 20, but short of the first down.
Advantage of that 1 week during the course of the season where you can have 2 padded practices, and it's up tempo, it's crisp.
Now Seattle is trailing the Redskins at home by 3. Rams already won today in the NFC West. The 49ers will await Garoppolo's debut, and they'll host the Giants next Sunday before the bye week. C.J. Beathard toughing it out. Just under 300 yards passing for him. Cardinals with a 20-10 win here in Santa Clara. Darryl Johnston, Chris Myers, and crew with more from Levi Stadium in just a moment.